action.
Mostly people know Satyajit Ray as the person whose brainchild made Feluda series a tangible reality. But it is seldom heard that Ray's creative genius also included illustrations, book cover and poster design, ad design, typography, and costume design. Perhaps it was Ray's exposure to pioneers of modern Indian art like Nandalal Bose and Binod Bihari Mukherjee at Shantiniketan that made his perceptions more profound. His nuanced and penetrating vision was probably a result of his ability to intensely conceive every shot to probe its interior and then sketch it out. Ray is said to have brought a new wave in Indian commercial art by adding a remarkably innovative and creative aesthetic form and spirit to it. He experimented with various artistic styles and traditions, both local and foreign, without compromising an aesthetic of authenticity. The book covers that we are so used to today wouldn't have been there had Ray not revolutionized the book cover designing in India. His characteristic style made it possible for him to create masterpiece artworks for Signet Press. It was for this publishing house that Ray designed the cover of the abridged Bibhuti Bhushan Bandyopadhyay's novel Pother Pachali that went on to become the inspiration for his magnum opus. The enlarged and half-open soap, as in Margo soap, and the pack of cigarettes with one stick sticking out in tenor, which was an example of this style of his, familiarized the product with the audience's memory due to its highlighted isolation. His brilliance also found expression in the carefully designed costumes for his characters. The most significant costumes that he designed were for the decorative appearances of the ghosts from Gupigain Baghabain 1969 and Hirok Rajar Deshe 1980.
সীমাবদ্ধ এই কথাটি যার ক্ষেত্রে খাটে না তিনিই হলেন সত্যজিৎ রায়। তিনি একাধারে যেমন ছিলেন চলচ্চিত্র পরিচালক, সুরকার, গীতিকার, লেখক, তেমনি ক্যালিগ্রাফি, টপোগ্রাফি, পোস্টার তৈরি, বইয়ের প্রচ্ছদ অলঙ্করণ সমস্ত বিষয়ই ছিল তার অবাধ বিচরণ। সন্দেশ কথাটি বললেই খাদ্যপ্রাণ বাঙালির জিভে জল এলেও সাহিত্যপ্রেমিক বাঙালির মনে ভেসে ওঠেন সত্যজিৎ রায়। কারণ এখানেই 1965 সালে প্রথম প্রকাশ পায় ফেলুদা। এই মাসিক পত্রিকার প্রচ্ছদ অলঙ্করণে তার অবদান ছিল অবিস্মরণীয়। এবার আমরা দেখে নেব তার কিছু অবিস্মরণীয় সৃষ্টি।
A scriptwriter, an author, a lyricist, a music composer, and also the editor of Sandesh. Starting his career as a graphic artist, Satyajit Ray moved on to become the godfather of Indian cinema. He said, "Cinema's characteristic fault is its ability to capture and communicate the intimacies of the human mind. This can be visualized in Pothir Pachali, the semi-autobiographical novel describing the maturity of a young boy, Opu. Portraying the reality of times in big screens was his specialty. Depicting the severity of Bengal famine in the form of Oshoni Sanket along with 1960s Devi, which examined the superstitions in Hindu society. The first screenplay directed by him was named Kanchanjunga. In 1964, he delivered Charulata, and then he directed the musical fantasy Gopi Gayan Bhagabayan. He also delivered its sequel, Hirak Raja Deshe, later in 1980. Through his works, he had beautifully portrayed his saying, "The man in the street, if you like, is a more challenging subject for exploration than people in the heroic mold. It is the half shades, the hardly audible notes that I want to capture and explore." Scripting, editing, casting, and scoring, along with designing his own credit titles and publicity material, all had his magic touch of perfection. As rightly said by Akira Kurosawa, not to have seen the cinema of Ray means existing in the world without seeing the sun or the moon. His greatness lies in his works of Feluda, the sleuth, Professor Shonku, the scientist, Tarini Khuro, the storyteller, and not to forget Lal Mohan Ganguly. His craft of cinema used freeze-frame shots, jump cuts, fades, along with various other methods. Director Roger Manuel had said in admiration of his cinematic style, "The restrained style he has adopted, Ray has become a master of technique. He takes his timing from the nature of the people and their environment. His camera is the intent, unobtrusive observer of reactions. His editing the discreet, economical transition from one value to the next." Due to his immense contribution in all forms, Satyajit Ray is regarded as one of the greatest filmmakers in the film history.
This year, the Academy Board of Governors has voted to award an honorary Oscar to the great Indian filmmaker Satyajit Ray. Mr. Ray has been making films for almost 4 decades. The Academy recognizes Mr. Ray's rare mastery of the art of motion pictures and of his profound humanism, which has had an indelible influence on filmmakers and audiences throughout the world. He has said that he aims to capture both what is unique in the Indian experience and that which is universal. Unfortunately, Mr. Ray is not well and cannot be with us tonight, but he is able to speak with us from his hospital room in Calcutta.
Well, it's been an extraordinary experience for me to be here tonight to receive this magnificent award, certainly the best achievement of my movie-making career. As a small schoolboy, I was terribly interested in the cinema, became a film fan, wrote to Deanna Durbin, got a reply, was delighted, wrote to Ginger Rogers, didn't get a reply. Then, of course, I got interested in the cinema as an art form. And I wrote a 12-page letter to Billy Wilder after seeing Double Indemnity. He didn't reply either. Well, there you are. But I have learned everything I've learned about the craft of cinema from the making of American films. I've been watching American films very carefully over the years, and I love them for what they entertained, and then later loved them for what they taught. So I express my gratitude to the American cinema, to the Motion Picture Association, who given me this award and who made me so proud. Thank you very, very much.
এই শোন, কি রে, এবার জ্বর ছাড়লে একদিন রেলগাড়ি দেখতে যাবো। হ্যাঁ রে, আগে থাকতে যাবো, তাহলে ঠিক দেখতে পাবো। হ্যাঁ যাবি তো?